Welcome to the Fan2Fan Podcast 5 Minute Frights, wherein, give or take 5 minutes, we'll try to share something creepy, kooky, mysterious, spooky, something fun and frightful that you can add to your to-watch queue as we all get ready for Halloween season. And in this episode, we're joined by Joshua Pruett, at Zombie TARDIS on Instagram and Twitter, TV writer, author, storyboard artist. He's worked on Mystery Science Theater 3000. He's worked on Phineas and Ferb, Milo Murphy's Law. He wrote the middle-age grade novel Shipwreckers, The Curse of the Cursed Temple of Curses, or We Nearly Died a Lot. He's worked with Crunchyroll, Lego, Disney, DreamWorks, Netflix, Nickelodeon, Paramount. Josh is awesome, and we're glad to have him back on the show. We've talked about Carpenter. We've talked about his movies because we celebrate his entire catalog. But you didn't go for the original Halloween. You went for the 1981 sequel, Halloween 2.
A dark house, a woman alone, a man with a knife. It all began with Halloween. But the night he came home is not over yet. Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance, Halloween 2. A Halloween treat. The trick is to survive. Halloween 2, rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent.
In the list that you gave, they were not in a specific order, so it's not like Halloween 2 is your number 5 or your number 1.
No.
It's just like you said, it is in the queue every October, every Halloween for you. You pop it in because you got to watch it.
Yep. So starting with that one, so like Halloween 2, there's something about that one, and I've shared multiple times before. It's like, I wrote my master's thesis on Halloween, a 30-page analysis of the art of that film. It's one of my all-time. So there's a couple things about this movie I think are special. It feels a little more dangerous than the first one. There's something about it that's a little more raw. It's a little more unfettered. I like that about it. I've liked it more and more over the years. I love Dick Warlock as the Shape. I love the mask. I actually like the mask better in this movie.
Okay.
So there are some shots in this film, and we've got Rosenthal, who's raw, young guy, doing his best, a lot of pressure on him. But he's got Dean at his side. Dean Cundy's still shooting this thing. And, I think at the time, and I wouldn't want to presume, but apparently Dean chose to do this over Poltergeist at the time.
Interesting.
So he had an offer to go work with Toby on that. And he's like, nah, we're going to help get this thing done. And so I think, at this point, Dean's fairly established, but he's not phoning this thing in. This movie looks stunning. And there are things about this movie that are even more sophisticated than the original Halloween, for my money. There's just different little bits of experimentation with light and shadow. There's some lovely things going on in this film. I also love the hospital setting. I love the elements of the Halloween night still happening. It also has the best opening 5 seconds of the whole moment where you've got Tommy Lee Wallace, who's doing the editing like he always does for John. So he does a little ADR on the neighbor who comes out to talk to Dr. Loomis, and he goes,
"What's going on out here? Call the police. Tell the sheriff I shot him."
Who?
Tell him he's still on the loose.
Is this some kind of joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
and you've got this amazing kind of remix version of the original theme by Alan Howarth. So Carpenter was too busy. He didn't have time to even do this. So Howarth is actually building on the scores that they built together in the first film. That pickup from the last moments of Halloween 1, I think is just some of the most exhilarating filmmaking in the history of horror, if not any sequel ever made. It's so goddamn exciting.
Just to throw in a few little things, Josh. This is your list, but we're talking Carpenter. So if there's like a few rungs on like the Henry Ford inspired assembly line of Halloween films, I think this is the part where you know that Carpenter doesn't know what Halloween is going to be, and probably, honestly, doesn't want it to become that. He wants it to be a singular work, not a brand, not a franchise, but nevertheless decides to honor the sequel by contributing to it as best and as much as he can, right? As much as his heart is in it, by bringing in talent people that he trusts, people that he can work with, but then also at the same time still adding that collapse of time. This is right after the events of the first one. Everything happens within one evening It's brutal. Great one to come out of the gate with, Josh. Halloween.
So much fun, you guys. So much fun. And it just, the finale is brutal, and the shape actually getting hurt and the eye bleeding. I literally ordered another t-shirt. I've got 3 t-shirts that are Halloween too. I'm ridiculous.